Hey there, everybody. Come with me while I go ahead and actually do the homework that Baka gave me for once. Yeah, I've got stuff already on stream. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit and maybe do a sprint, hang out for about 30-40 minutes. See you soon.
I wake up every minute with the fever dreams. I push my mind to a limit where it needs to be. I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns sour with the painful scenes, I need to scream out loud, I can't stop me. I wanna be the greatest like Rocky. You know I leave them all hating like a hobby. I'm out here making moves like a lobby. And if you ain't with me, it's your loss. See, I got my mind on the facts. I'm a python, grab what I like real fast. Choke until I have everything I attack, everything that I lack, everything that I want, and I see matter of fact.
Welcome to a solo evening, kinda. I have a suspicion someone might be lurking somewhere in chat, but hello, welcome to Write a TTRPG with us. Well, tonight, me. My name is Jenna O'Malley. I am your soul writer, author of The Myrna Annals. Welcome in. It's good to see you. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing great. I do have a poll going that I'll keep throughout the entire time that we're rocking together. So, if you've been following, this is now episode 4. We've done 2 episodes of explaining things, and now this is the second episode of backstage getting stuff planned. Baka gave me homework for once, so let me, I guess, impart what's going on with the homework in the background. So 2 things I needed to clarify notes-wise in our lore before Baka and I could kind of go to the next stage with getting some core mechanic things ironed out. We have so far decided that the 2 main pieces to do the mechanics to this TTRPG for the Myrna Annals are going to be tarot cards and dice. It's what I use to write the stories. Why not let the gamers, storytellers, who are going to be doing the game do kind of the same thing? So today we're kind of looking at the division of who would get what in the stack of the tarot cards. The easiest way I can think to link this, anyone in chat, give me a different idea if you so please, is to connect the 5 sections of each tarot deck. Normally you can take it and put the major arcana by itself and then subdivide the minors into 4 suits like you would a normal deck of cards, right? So we'll go ahead and kind of use that one for each of the 5 deities who makes up the lore of the Myrna kind to begin with. So looking back into, from a player perspective, how are they going to be presented this? As early as the character creation stage, you're going to know which section of that tarot deck is going to be yours. Does this mean you may have to bring your own set of D6s and your own tarot deck to a game? Potentially, most likely, but at the same time, it could also mean that you could start off with a huge bag of D6s, or everyone just brings D6s from Yahtzee and Monopoly or whatever they can, borrow from home, plus a single tarot card deck, and you just share the different parts, or you only have one representative from each clan at play. You can put all those house rules in as you would like to kind of homebrew this. Would be where I would like to see people take this if they're just starting out. So for the major arcana, we're going to give that to the people who rule the Myrna, the vampires. Oh my goodness, we're getting into so much nerdy lore that my brain's going to hurt. Okay, if you're coming on in and you have any questions, do not hesitate to put them in chat. If you're also here saying hello and you want to just drop in some commentary, please feel welcome to do so. So for major arcana with the vampires, they're going to have more cards than everybody, true. Anyone who knows anything about tarot decks is this stack of 70-some cards normally puts more into the major arcana suit than the other suits. Your coins, cups, swords, wands are very, very much like in a traditional poker, blackjack deck. You have ace all the way through king. As a matter of fact, that's where those playing cards probably got their inspiration from, was these decks, not the other way around. Just saying. Yes, if you're wondering, can you use playing cards to tell tarot? If you know what they mean, go for it. I've seen people do it. So yes, if you wanted to also use a normal playing card deck, you just wouldn't have any vampires leading. This essentially would be, what if we don't have the royalty to lead us to play? You could just have your coins, cups, swords, wands, okay? So you have about 14 to 15 cards, depending on your deck and what all they count as part of the different suits for the tarot and the whatnot for each of your coins, cups, swords, wands. The vampires are going to have about 20, lower 20s, so they're going to have a handful more. That's fine. If you know the lore to the Myrna, they are a matriarchal society where the vampires are the royalty and everyone else kind of fills in the court around them. So Nephthys would be the one who gets to have beholden to all those cards and their meanings. So if you know anything about her as a deity, she's literally Anubis's mom. For those of you who know Egyptian mythology, you probably know her son more than her. Kind of like how the Christians know Jesus more than Mary. Same thing. They actually are very similar in that they tend to be more silent females in their canon and their canonical storytelling. And the story of their sons, kind of similar. So Nephthys definitely would be given a lot of those mother to heroine story arc likenesses, like when I'll go card by card and say, when you draw the Fool, it means this. It'll be very much a spin. The Fool does mean this, plus what that deity represents, plus what that represents to the vampires. So there's kind of like a 3-part meaning to what that card could mean. Yes, it's going to probably be a little paragraph for each of the meanings and maybe a list. Not necessarily drawing from Tarot for Writers in the word meaning, but I did like how they formatted things. So I'll probably be looking at how like they did their lists and borrow the layout of the lists, if you will. It would also refer to the card deck I used to write it for meanings, and Eden Gray's old standby, because I want to make sure that I'm giving them the most common meanings people might use when coming to this game with any tarot deck. We'll put it this way. Mama Maggie, I kind of figured this would be right up your alley after what we did a while ago. Hello, my dear. It's so good to see you. Welcome, welcome in. Tarot for Writing is one of you. It's your fault I'm into that book. Your thankness, I'm into that book. I actually was going to ask, and Baka probably is listening to this somewhere, and he may not know, but I'm going to be asking y'all eventually when this is all done, when he and I have a testable draft, I'm going to ask him to run a campaign. So I'll need players. Mama Maggie, you're one of the people I was going to ask. Just saying. For reasons. Are you volunteering as tribute? I hope so. Stacy, good evening, good evening. And also anyone who frequents my channel as like a chat person, or if you're one of my channel members, you can always definitely volunteer as tribute. Because I know for some of you in this community, you're like, yes, I want to be in on the ground level of this. I want to get a free copy and have fun and give feedback. And I just think that would be the perfect way to kind of end this series, is to actually ask Baka to run a full, couple hour session one Saturday or whatever. We'll see. That could be months to a year away. We'll see. Backing up to here. So with the major arcana, they'll go to Nephthys. Again, with that kind of formula of traditional Rider-Waite meaning, overlay of Nephthys's canonical, what most people know about her meaning, apply all that to vampires in the Myrna way. So definitely the fact that they're going to get more cards, it's going to challenge a couple of different character arcs here. Yes, of course, we would encourage, given we're writing this in this, I'm calling it Master Compendium 1 is the official title of the draft. We decided the fates of the spinning wheel several episodes earlier decided we were setting this in not Neftery's Time, book 1, but it's actually going to make me have to make decisions about stuff that I haven't written yet. So we're sitting this back in Arsinoe's time, like when the original council formed. Knowing the lore behind why is Nephthys key to why she's the focal goddess of all this, it's because of kind of the lore behind of why Arsinoe passed away. So I would have to build that into here a little bit. Also keeping in mind that anyone who does take the royal path or does not take the royal path, or anyone who takes, I'll call it the Abraxas method. Screw all you, I'm going home. That's kind of what he said. So playing on the different alignments here, how could they move within the fact that Nephthys herself is seen as like the mother deity of of Myrna, not just vampires, but in a way of Myrna, giving that treatment of how can these cards be used upright and in the reverse to reflect that shift, okay? Stacy, you volunteer as someone who played D&D. Oh, this is why I kind of want to write this. This is something Baka and I, or at least I told Baka, I want to write this because I know there's a ton of people who read what I write in fiction land who would love to take either a step back into the TTRPG or use this as their first. Cups is cats and swords, but well, I'll tell you here in a second why I chose what got chosen. So coins are for the Fae because of the refill the cup thought process. I wanted to go through there with the Fae because all of our Fae characters always, when I think of their alignment, I explain it in terms of, are they a half full, glass is half full, glasses half empty, or the glass is refillable. This is literally the difference between Arya, Mardigan, and Tus. Just saying. For the cups, we went with Hecate with the cat shifters, not so much because of what you're saying here with the cats with claws with swords. It's more because of what the cats do with magic in the world of fighting as part of beholden to the goddess they follow. They tend to be our DPSers, so they needed that cup symbology. Swords for the werewolves was because of their teeth and their claws whenever they're on the attack. And let's get real. A certain someone and his sister that we only hear about through him and his lady as being an epic person. Just saying, Iliada. Yeah, they're quite stabby in persona. We'll put it that way. Thank you. I like the age ranges. I appreciate. Mama Maggie, I refuse to be on Bjorn's team. Hey. The one you're more likely to get fleas from is Hadomi and the cat shifters. Why? They travel more, just saying. They travel more. Though he does flee, FLEE, when he needs to as well. That whole, tactical advantage thing he appreciates. So with the wands and the dragonkin, this was because most of them tend to be our ranged attackers. Literally, the majority of Vovry's compatriots and Dracokin, they are archers. They are your long-range cannon maintenance dudes. These are the guys who would probably be like, okay, spoiler alert for book 6. Vovry becomes an expert marksman and just basically lives to get paid by different people to, disappear for a weekend and get hired, and that makes his salary for 3 years. He's that kind of dude for a reason. He's Wands energy. Now, I did get into a recent conversation about Wands as air, therefore Nephthys being an air goddess. Shouldn't I have done that? And I'm like, no, she's Mama Arcana, okay? At least in this part of the lore, she's Mama Arcana. So in each of the cards, they will have a tabular breakdown. I'm debating about whether or not I should have this link out to like a card database. I could make it. I know Microsoft Access inside and out, but I'm wondering if I could just make it like if a Google Sheet even to where they can go and make a copy of it and then Control F, search the name of the card. I might go that way just because I foresee the ebook being much appreciated for the linked resources like that. So that's going to be another item on my homework list. Thank you, Baka, because if I'm going to do that eventually, that's where I'm going to start. That's going to be what I'll do during our sprint here. Bovary is a workaholic despite... this is why Bovary has learned that once a certain someone gives him daughters, he has learned to appreciate that he works maybe 5 days a year, and that includes him traveling to and from work. The true workaholic would be Neftiri. Doc Sin is her nickname. She teaches at a local university, plus teaches ballroom dancing and ballroom and belly dancing classes because she's bored. The other item, I shared this with Baka a while ago, was numerology and its implications on dice rolls for D6. This could not necessarily just apply to like battle stuff, but it could. So normally the number 1 represents leadership, independence, and determination. If you roll a 1 in a persuasion check, you better be, writing the greatest English essay out of your mouth that you have ever word vomited. Notice I'm not directing that out of my mouth, but out of my backside, because it's probably more than word vomit. Hello, anyone who has ever watched any show dealing with any bard anytime. So people with a number 1 are said to be hardworking, forward-thinking, and organized. However, if your character is not that, this is a moment where they have to prove they are. So you can see we're in a persuasion check where if you have like the Jim Carrey character pop up here, does he go, all Truman Show on us, or does he go all righty then Ace Ventura? For number 2, represents diplomacy and helping others. So again, in a persuasion check, do you take the leadership option or the diplomatic option? No, they're not the same thing. One is a little more cooperative and one's a little more collaborative. No, it's not the same thing. One is more forgiving than the other, is why I'm wording it that way. Okay. Number 3 represents creativity and making things. So with the number 3, you're good at coming up with new ideas. In a persuasion check, the number 3, do you happen to have this really cool handmade thing in your back pocket? Do you happen to have this really cool joke you can tell? Number 4 represents hard work and reliability. People with this tend to be very reliable. Normally in when you think of the 4 of Swords, it means stability through rest or tactical retreats. It doesn't necessarily, even though they usually show someone in repose as if it's like a funerary moment, it's more like you're so tired, you need to go offline. So what's the stability moment here? Number 5 represents adventure and trying new things. People with a number 5 are said to like to have fun. This is your goofball answer. This is your, I know this joke is not going to land, but go for it answer. And then, of course, number 6 would represent caring for others. This is going to be focused on family and fertile ground. Maggie says, kind of like certain captain. We're going to leave Malice out of this, okay? She's lackadaisical until you give her reason to make you clean her deck. Just saying. That's why she's lackadaisical, because fine, I'll just make you do it for me. She is a ship captain and she's Irish. Come on. So with the different dice rolls, these rolls can be used, again, not just in formation for battle things, but this could be some external battle numerology at work, okay? I think what we're going to go ahead and do is I do actually want to go ahead and get some writing in on this. So I think what we'll do is I tried to have this and a timer up here, and tech would not let me tech. So let me go ahead and instead just switch to said timer. And you know what? Yeah, we got time. Let's go ahead and just do 1 45-minute sprint, everybody. There we go. Switchy, switchy. So what we'll do is 45 minutes, and I'll put a banner up for us. That might be helpful, eh? Ask any questions you might have in chat. Otherwise, thanks for being here, y'all. Let's go. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for a little bit. I did actually like double the size of the document, believe it or not. And I also went ahead, and you won't be able to see it here, but I went ahead and made, sorry for the scrolling, there's a faster way to do that, Jenna. The document that is going to be the reference point of where all the tarot cards are going to sit. I started that section as well. And then I got my little equations that I gave my self earlier of it needed to be this plus this plus this for each of these sections. So each of the rationales for who gets what and subscribes to where and how they behave has been laid out. So lots of background lore already in play here, and I can foresee me spending quite a bit more time on this, but for now, I'm going to thank all of you for spending the evening with me a little bit. If you do want, the authortube spreadsheet is coming your way here through the comment box as we do speak. If you want to go ahead and hop on over there and see who's doing what, please feel welcome to do so. Above all, everybody, thank you again for spending so much time with me. Take care of yourself. You're always worth it. See you next time, Baka included.
I wake up every minute with the fever dreams. I push my mind to a limit where it needs to be. I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns sour with the painful scenes, I need to scream out loud, I can't stop me. I wanna be the greatest like Rocky. You know I leave them all hating like a hobby. I'm out